I'm filming this approximately 11 hours before we get all of the information Nintendo is willing to share about the Switch 2. There's been a lot of leaks and stuff about the hardware leading up to this day, and I wanted to put on record what my predictions were as well as my disappointments and what they are, as I'm fairly certain we didn't get a lot of the stuff that I hoped for. There are 5 things that I really wish for the Switch 2, and I'm going to jump into what those are. By the way, I'm Solace, this is Solace and Dread. We produce nuanced discussions on gaming. If that's your thing, hit the like button to let YouTube know and consider subscribing. I'm not going to beat around the bush. The biggest thing I wanted is a way to connect the Switch 1 as a controller to your Switch 2. It makes sense. They already have a large install base of customers who have the Switch 1, and it keeps it from becoming completely obsolete. It also allows for a full touchscreen controller. From what I can tell, it doesn't really look like we're getting a touchscreen controller, likely just a larger set of Joy-Cons and some new Pro controllers. That screen is a big deal for a number of reasons, but the biggest is, to me, freeing some games that are trapped on legacy hardware. I would love to see games like A Link Between Worlds and Kid Icarus make a comeback on the Switch 2. I would love to see a port of Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess on the Switch 2. And I don't think that we're going to get either of those 2 Zelda games unless we get a touchscreen, at least not right away. I want those 3DS games to be a full and robust library, getting ports and remasters where they previously couldn't because of the hardware limitations. And not having a screen in your hand is part of those limitations. I think it would be the most unique shit ever, using your old console as a controller. Who else can boast that? I've already expressed my disappointment in some of what I've seen with the Switch 2, and I don't hide the fact that a bigger iteration of the Switch with a mouse bores me. I know it opens a lot of possibility for future games. I'm just used to Nintendo doing something more fun with new iterations of their consoles, but I'm not going to go down that road again. Number 2. I still have hope for this at this point, but I'm not even a little surprised if we don't see this. I want to see a GameCube and Wii library available. I don't care if this is through NSO or a full eShop where you can buy the games. I think that the upgraded hardware should allow for us to have this. At the very least, the GameCube. There's a lot of port beggars out there like me who want to see those games return in some way, and this would shut us up. And it would also give NSO some actual value, as people regularly talk about how it is the worst of the console subscription services, and it's really hard to defend against that, because it kind of is. 3. I want backwards compatibility to be boosted, not just backwards compatible. I want it boosted. I want to know that the console will take games that ran badly, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and run them at higher frame rates and resolutions. Let me play Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch at a native 60 frames per second and 1440p at least. Let me play Astral Chain in a way that shows off the absolute beauty of that game, since it's trapped on Nintendo's hardware. Unlock the potential of these games, please. Number 4, give us media apps back. I get not putting Twitter on there. It's garbage, whatever. But at least give us the TV and movie apps. There's a reason people's consoles are caked in dust and dead when there's no Nintendo games they feel like playing anymore. And it's far less likely that they will play them if they have no reason outside of gaming to turn on the console. Back in 2017, Reggie said that the intent was for the Switch to be a gaming console first and foremost. And sure, it was. But more than kids use these devices. Give people a reason to leave the console charged and ready to use, not just when they have a random want to play Animal Crossing 2 years after the pandemic to see how much their villagers hate them. A part of a way to keep it relevant is the media apps. It's a no-brainer. And number 5, the last thing I want is a new 3D Mario game at launch. Breath of the Wild was a great launch title for people like me, and it looks like this time we're getting Mario Kart 9. But there's something about opening a new Nintendo console and playing a brand new 3D Mario game that just completes the experience and fills my heart. It completes me. I don't think it's asking too much for this. And maybe if it's not immediately on launch, a month or two after launch would be exceptional. Let us play the shovelware like 1-2 Switch, or just Mario Kart for a little while, but give us that 3D Mario game we have been waiting for so long. And remind everyone that Sony does not own the platforming games genre now that Astrobot is out here taking names. It would be a dream to come back to this video in half a day and laugh at how poorly this aged. But all jokes aside, we know this is not the case. Regardless, I'm happy to have a new chapter of Nintendo games to be excited for. And disappointment is not going to be my first feeling opening the new console. I'm very excited for what's to come. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and what was your favorite games that were on the original Switch. I would love to hear it. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon, and long live the Turtle Kingdom. Reaction to the Switch 2 reveal will be up tomorrow.